What is going on, my good people? Mike Hidalgo here. Thank you for joining us on another FCP Euro DIY. Today we're going to be working on a 2007 Volvo XC90 P2 with the V8. Today on the XC90 behind me, we're going to be covering how to do an engine oil service. In front of me we have our liquid moly kit, which is available on fcpo.com. It includes 7 liters of oil, as well as a man filter, which includes a new O-ring gasket for the oil filter cap and a drain plug crush washer. We recommend you do this service every 5,000 miles or so. While the oil is designed to last a little bit longer, as these cars age and get a little bit older, a nice 5,000 mile solid interval is a good recommendation for these cars. This is going to be applicable to all your P2 Volvos equipped with the 4.4 liter V8. But before we get started on this DIY, let's take a look at some of the tools you're going to need for this job. For this DIY, you're going to want to use a torque wrench, a ratchet, a small pick or flathead screwdriver. We have a 10mm and a 17mm socket. For our oil filter, we'll be using CTA 2489 to remove the oil filter housing cap. A funnel of your choice. Electric tools make the removal of the splash shield easier and quicker. And not pictured here but needed is going to be a catch pan for your oil. Now with that, let's go ahead and get started on this DIY. All right, my good people, to get started, we're going to start by removing the filler cap on top of our engine bay here. And that is so that we break the vacuum seal and the oil drains out a little bit easier from the drain plug. So here we go. We're going to go ahead and just set this cap to the side. If you're working outside and you're worried about any debris falling in here, you can lay a paper towel over the fill hole here, or you can just simply rest the cap on there like that. That's not going to hurt anything, and that'll still allow for the vacuum seal to be broken. So with that, now let's head underneath the XC90 and work on removing our splash shield. All right, my good people, we're on the lift today. However, this is a driveway friendly job. We're going to go ahead and start by removing the skid plate, which is held in by 6 10mm bolts. We're just going to zap them out using our small Milwaukee. Ours is missing one on the passenger side, just keep that in mind, but we are typically going to be removing 6 from this shield. All right, with those removed, we can drop the shield. Just be mindful, sometimes there's debris in here. You don't want that flying in your eyes. We'll go ahead and set this to the side. All right, now we have our shield off. We have a better view at our drain plug and our oil filter. So let's grab our catch pan. We'll get that situated and we'll get ready to drain the oil. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and remove our 17mm drain plug so we can let our oil drain out. We have our catch pan ready to go. And just be mindful, based on how this drain plug sits on the oil pan, the direction of the oil is gonna flow out this way. It's not gonna go straight down. As the volume decreases, then it'll slowly drip more directly underneath the engine, but for now it's going to come out a little bit of an angle. Wow, that was incredibly loose. Always helps to do this with a bit of a warm engine. Just be mindful if your car is warm, you don't want to burn yourself on the oil or the exhaust, but hot oil equals thinner, which comes out easier. While this is draining and our catch pan's big enough, we're going to work on removing our engine filter as well. And for this, we're just going to use the 3/8 drive ratchet that sits in the housing and break that free. And we'll let that drain for a little bit while we let the engine drain itself. And then we'll come back, we'll clean everything up and get ready to install our filter and drain plug and new crush washer. All right, my good people, everything's been cleaned up. We've let everything drip for a while now. We have our oil filter housing cap, which we're gonna use a small pick to remove the old O-ring. You always wanna replace these, as these can be a common leak. We have our new O-ring, again, which is included with our man filter. I'm gonna go ahead and seat that into place. Note there is just one specific groove channel for that O-ring. It doesn't go up here, it doesn't go beneath it. One channel there. We'll lubricate the ring itself with a little bit of the residual oil from the threads. We can take our new man filter and just pop it back into the block. Just like that. And then we're going to go ahead and feed this in and torque it down to 25 Newton meters. All right. take our torque wrench and just snug this baby down. They don't need to be uber tight if you don't have a torque wrench. Pretty much once it's snug up, it's going to be there all the way. There we go. That feels nice. There we go. All right, now with this all situated, let's head over to the back side of the oil pan and install our new drain plug crush washer. Crush washer is already situated on the plug. We'll go ahead and get that started by hand. And then we're going to torque this 17mm plug down to 50 Newton meters. You always want to be sure you torque these properly. They are in aluminum. They're not like a steel pan, so you want to be gentle with them and just follow your proper torque specs. There we go. Now we're going to go ahead and install our shield once more. The goal here is simply just to get it lined up, and you can start 1 or 2 pieces of hardware, and then you can work your way around without having to hold it up. So we'll start one 10mm bolt in the back, and we'll start one more on the opposite side up front. And then we're just going to snug them up with our Milwaukee. All right, my good people, with that, the underneath of the XC90 is situated. Let's head back into the engine bay and get her done. All right, my good people, we're back in the engine bay. We're gonna go ahead and fill this beautiful V8 with some fresh liquid moly. The capacity for this motor is 6.7 liters or 7.1 quarts. We have 7 liters of oil here. We're gonna go ahead and start with about the 6.7. We'll run it for a minute and check it. More than likely, we'll end up dumping all 7 in it. If you do dump all 7 in it, it's not the end of the world. These cars get older. Sometimes they burn a little bit of oil. Sometimes they leak a little bit of oil. Being that much over is not going to hurt anything. All right, I have about a quarter of this 1 liter jug left. I'm going to let this settle for about a minute. Then we'll run it for a few minutes. We'll check our level, and we'll come back and top it off if needed. All right, my good people, we have let the car run for a few minutes, and we've let it sit for a few minutes as well. Let everything drain back into the oil pan. Then we're going to go ahead and check the level. Again, we left about a quarter of that 7th liter in the bottle still. There's probably a chance we may need to top it off. All right, and we are about the middle mark on the hash marks on the dipstick here. We'll give you a better look so you can see that for yourselves. And with that, my good people, as you saw, it was just a hair low. We're gonna go ahead and top off the engine. We're just gonna throw the last bit of our quarter of our liter in here. All right, we'll throw our oil fill cap back on. And with that, my good people, that is gonna conclude this DIY for today. Overall, a really straightforward job on the XC90 V8 model. Again, it's going to be similar on your other vehicles equipped with the 4.4 liter V8. If you like this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments on what we did today, leave those in the comment section below. And if you like this DIY and you want to see more like them, please consider subscribing. We make new ones all the time. As always, thank you so much for watching. We'll catch you on the next one.